Hello fellow Zoomers, my name is Alvaro Vasquez, and I'm running for student government in Seattle University. So why did I decide to do that? Well, the first thing for me is that it was kind of a no-brainer because I've been doing it for the past couple of years. So as one of the first year representatives, my first year here at Seattle University, and this year I'm the multicultural representative here in my second year at Seattle University. Next year, I'm hoping to become the VP of Finance of Seattle University. So that's currently the position that I am seeking. So what are some duties and responsibilities of this role? Well, there's a few things to keep in mind. The first one is that the VP of Finance is supposed to be in charge of the finances of SGSU, as well as the appropriations that SGSU makes. This is like funding for clubs and events that pertain to CSI, which is a center of student involvement. The second thing is that the VP of Finance meets with and coordinates with the CFO of Seattle University. And then the last and third point, which is also the most important point, is that the VP of Finance represents students when it comes to financial issues at Seattle University. Some changes that I will push for that will improve the student life of Seattle University. This is kind of going to coincide with a later point in this video, but one of the big things that I want to focus on is making SGSU more lean and more mean. There's a certain sense of responsibility that we, as part of SGSU, have, right? We are funded by tuition, just like a real government. So there's a sense of responsibility there, in that we are doing our work on behalf of you. We're getting basically paid by you, and so we want to do the best job that we can. There's a sense of responsibility there. So one of the big pushes that I want to do is to be conscious of the finances we're doing, and then look at how we can make the financial lives of students easier as we go forward. That's a big issue, especially right now, as you might be dealing with everything that's happening. It can be challenging, and it's something that I would like to focus on at SGSU next year. It's something that I really wanted to focus on since the first year I was here, and especially now, it's something that I definitely have even more passion for. So, if elected, how will my experience at SU shape the way that I carry out the position here at SGSU? Let me give you some background. I'm a first-generation student here at Seattle University. I come from a low-income household, and I'm from Hispanic heritage, so I'm a person of color. So those are some characteristics of me that have shaped the way that I am as a person, the way that I am as a human being, the way that I evaluate finances, the way that I evaluate just about everything in my life. So as a first-generation student, as a student of low income, as a person of color, those are the traits and characteristics that I will bring to the table whenever I'm meeting with people, evaluating the finances, taking a look at how I can make your life better here at SGSU. I take all those things into account and really try to figure out what's the best way that I can make this school and this institution work for everyone. How would I describe my leadership style? I'm very upfront. There's something called the compliment, criticism, compliment sandwich. I'm not about that, personally. I'm fine with giving it, but I don't like receiving. I like, if you're gonna criticize me, if you're gonna bash me. Go straight to the point. Hit me as hard as you can. That's the way I learn. That's the way I like to collect feedback. I'm very forward, very upfront. I'm always someone that seeks to improve, and that's kind of the way that I do it. So I'll never be hurt by constructive criticism. I'll never be hurt by any of that, because I'm always looking to improve. I'm always looking for that criticism, and if I don't get it, then I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or the place I'm working at is doing something wrong because I'm not getting enough feedback or criticism as well. So I'm always happy and accepting to hear that. I'm always willing and happy to listen to people, especially from the student body. Always eager to hear that as a representative today and as a VP of Finance, hopefully in the future. So that's something that I will commit to and always put my time to, is to always do the best that I can to hear your voices. So what about a time that I had to personally, as a leader, reunite people around a common goal? I'm doing that right now with a club on campus called SU Esports and Gaming. And so when we were creating the club last year, my freshman year, we wanted to really focus on what's going to be our goal, what's going to be our vision for this club. And I really wanted to push for this should be a club that is built around community, acceptance, accessibility to people of low income, to all people, and that really should strive to fit into that Jesuit mission. And that's what we've been doing. We could have made it about competitiveness. We could have just made it about, who can bring the most games and stuff to the table. That's not what we're about. We're about sharing games. We're about sharing experiences. We're about making everything that we do accessible and enjoyable for everyone, and having it be community first, everything else second. And that's something that I had to unite our club around. That's something we push forward to, and now we're the biggest club on campus. So it's been successful, and it's been a really fun ride to be part of that. And I'll be happy to lead that club next year as president. Anyways, so during this stay-at-home policy, what's something creative that I've done to keep myself busy? So for me, because there has been a lot of time on my hands, as I would assume there is on your hands, but it's been learning new skills. So, and it could be totally free. You don't have to pay for anything. If you're an employee on campus, we have access to LinkedIn Learning, so that's also another great place to go. But touching up on your Excel, your Python, your coding, all that stuff, or just learning new skills, learning how to cook. That's been really fun to do, learning how to bake. I'm not that great of a cook, so it was a great experience to get better at that. What I'm saying is that don't waste this time. One of the best advice that I've always gone is, don't look at something that's on the surface bad, which this is very bad. Don't look at it purely as this is all going to be bad, there's nothing good that's going to come out of that. Try to find a way to bring something good out of it, something positive. Whether that looks like self-care, whether that looks like honing on your skills, whether that looks like learning how to cook, how to do this, how to do that. Work on finding something that you can do to improve off of your current situation. That'll always help you have a more positive outlook, and it'll always support your growth mentality. And that's super important, especially as a student here at SU. You always want to be focused on how can I grow more as a person, as a student. That's part of the Jesuit tradition, right? Educating the whole person. So that's my best advice to you. In terms of further advice on what we should be doing during these uncertain times, the best advice I can give you, that everyone's been giving you, and I know it's annoying to listen to, and I know we're all getting stir crazy sitting in our homes, but the best advice is to stay home. Not only that, but support the people who can't stay home. And going further from that, because I know we've heard of those two things plenty of times, find a way to plan for the future. We live in a world where a lot of people, many Americans, are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's very difficult for us to plan ahead. So take the time to plan ahead. What's your future going to look like? Things are so uncertain now, so do the best that you can to make as many things as you can a little bit more sure in the future. Establish those safety nets in any way you can. Just make yourself feel a bit more comfortable. When everything is moving, when there are so many variables and there's nothing that's fully stable, try to find a way to add a little bit of stability in there, because that goes a long way in helping you and your mental health. What should student government focus on in the future? This is what I kind of hinted at in the beginning. That was going to be a little bit redundant, but for me, that's making SGSU lean and mean. Again, we're funded by students, we're funded by your tuition, and we have a responsibility to do our best to support you in your finances, and to do our best to not waste that money. And that to me means that there are a lot of things that SGSU has been doing, which with great intentions, of course, that I think we could cut back on a little bit in terms of saving money. For example, our SGSU retreats, which is just to serve SGSU. Those are things that I personally think could be cut down a little bit. They cost us a lot of money, and in turn that means they cost you guys a lot of money. So I want to make sure that everything we do is intentional, and that everything we do is to serve students and students first. So anyways, that is my vision, that is my position, that is what I strive to do. Keep on Zooming, do the best you can in online classes. I know it's easy to get disconnected. It's super easy, especially now that we're online. So stay connected as best as you can. Check Canvas once, twice a day, and do your best out there, alright? There aren't a lot of certain things out there. You've been hearing that all day. Do what you can to make certain things certain. Peace.